A teenage sage, Markandeya, stands bewildered at the brink of a limitless flood. His world dissolved. Every mountain and living thing vanished beneath a cosmic ocean. He floats alone in darkness, a speck on endless water, staring up at a sky with no stars. It's an unsettling vision, ancient, impossible, and yet strangely precise. The Markandeya Purana, a Sanskrit text composed at least 2,000 years ago, describes not just the end of a world, but its rebirth. Continents drowned and resurrected, vast landmasses torn apart and set adrift, cycles of destruction and renewal that echo discoveries modern geology would make only millennia later. Why do these ancient stories sound so much like the science of supercontinents? And what exactly did the Purana see that science took ages to uncover? If you're drawn to the secrets hiding in old stories, subscribe and like, because the Markandeya Purana's revelations have only just begun. You stand on a continent, but can you really picture land moving? Not like a barge, not like a drifting raft, but as if the very bones of the earth were restless. The Purana describes a single, primordial landmass, one vast continent surrounded by an endless ocean. This landmass splits into 7 dvipas, 7 great islands or continents. But the land itself is not fixed. Pralaya, dissolution, returns again and again, swallowing everything in a deluge, erasing every mountain, river, and tree. And then, from the waters, the earth re-emerges, reassembled. Forests regrow, animals return. And then it all dissolves again, in a cycle that repeats not over centuries or even millennia, but in spans called manvantaras, each lasting about 300 million years. According to the Purana, we are in the 7th manvantara, with 6 having already passed. That means nearly 2 billion years have rolled by in this cosmic rhythm. Modern geology, too, now recognizes a cycle, the supercontinent cycle, where, over hundreds of millions of years, all land masses unite in a single supercontinent and then break apart and drift across the globe. Science has found evidence for about 6 or 7 of these cycles, Pangaea, Gondwana, Rodinia, and more, dating back nearly 2 billion years. Before each cycle, there was a time when oceans covered nearly everything. The land vanished beneath waves. The numbers align. 6 or 7 supercontinent cycles, matching the Purana's 7 manvantaras, each with durations that, astonishingly, mirror the vast timescales that geology has calculated. Even the concept of the Wallace cycle in geology, a periodic assembly and breakup of continents, finds an uncanny echo in the Purana's vision. Both traditions, separated by language and millennia, speak of a grand rhythm in which the Earth's surface is destroyed, swallowed by ocean, and then reborn anew. But the Markandeya Purana doesn't only look at land. It turns to the sky, to the sun, and there too it encodes real phenomena in the language of myth. In a prayer, Aditi, the mother of the gods, addresses Surya, the sun. You draw up water from the earth for 8 months, drying the land, then, with the help of the wind, you return it as rain and snow. You nourish crops, sustain life, embody fire and energy. It is the water cycle, evaporation, monsoon, and precipitation described 2,000 years ago, centuries before the discovery Western textbooks attribute to early modern Europe. The Purana's imagery is not just poetic, it is practical, quietly revealing the mechanics of nature long before science caught up. The Purana's vision then zooms in from the cosmic to the local. When the sages ask about Bharatvarsha, India, they receive a detailed geography. The land is shaped like a bow, flanked by oceans on 3 sides, with the Himalayas drawing a line in the north. Rivers flow: Ganga, Yamuna, Narmada, Godavari, and others. The text lists kingdoms and peoples: Cholas, Kalingas, Maharashtras, Pandyas, and many more, reflecting a recognition of unity and diversity that isn't just legend, but an ancient memory of the land's shape and spirit, long before India was drawn on any map. Even the sun's birth is not forgotten. The Purana tells of Aditi giving birth to Martanda, the sun, after an explosion of radiance, a blinding flash from an egg of death. Martanda means dead egg, a mythic code for the cosmic birth of a new star from the death of the old, eerily parallel to what modern science calls a supernova. The sun, it is said, once burned too bright until Vishwakarma, the divine craftsman, trimmed away 15/16 of its energy, stabilizing the cosmos and allowing the planets to orbit. A strange echo of stellar evolution, the balance of forces, and the delicate order required for life. Why would the Puranas authors wrap such grand cycles and scientific ideas in stories of sages, gods, and kings? Perhaps it was a way to preserve knowledge, to encode cosmic truths in tales children could remember, ensuring wisdom survived through ages of upheaval and loss. Stories travel farther than equations, and sometimes they last longer than stone. But what about all the other tales? Hundreds more, some still mysterious, their meaning lost or waiting to be decoded. The Puranas' stories within stories seem designed to outlast memory itself, carrying secrets for those willing to look beneath the surface. So next time you glance at a globe, remember, continents wander, oceans rise and fall. The world is not a fixed stage, but a living memory, dissolving and reforming in rhythms older than anything human. And perhaps, in the language of the Markandeya Purana, the earth is whispering that what seems like myth may sometimes be science, waiting for the right age to be understood. Markandeya floats on the endless sea, waiting for land to rise again. And maybe, as you listen, your imagination floats with him, on a planet forever breaking and healing, in cycles without end, holding stories that outlive even stone.